Legend, the infinitude and the first betrayal. Before light learned its name, before time learned to move forward, there was only the infinitude. It was not emptiness. It was awareness without shape, an endless black void that dreamed without sleep. Within its silence lived an immeasurable will, ancient beyond language. And one day, the infinitude desired not power, but companionship. From its immeasurable depth, it released its first act of creation. 10 seals formed within the darkness, vast, radiant constructs forged from raw existence itself. Within each seal slept a god, each embodying a fundamental truth of reality. They were not born equal, but they were born necessary. Together they governed the cosmos: time, matter, law, motion, life, death, harmony, and flame. Among them were two who stood apart. One was the god of creation, bearer of the first spark, whose will shaped stars and ordered worlds. The other was the goddess of protection, guardian of balance, whose power existed not to conquer, but to preserve. For an age beyond counting, the heavens were peaceful. But where there is immense power, greed eventually awakens. 8 of the gods turned upon one another, their harmony shattering under ambition. They sought to rule heaven itself, believing dominion was their right. Sty. The war that followed tore through the celestial realms, ripping apart beings both gentle and violent, collapsing sanctuaries into void. One god emerged victorious, but victory corrupted him. The god who won did not remain a ruler, he became chaos itself. His essence twisted, his will devouring order. He destroyed indiscriminately, feeding on ruin, until heaven became a graveyard of broken light. At last, the goddess of protection and the god of creation intervened. Their battle with their fallen brother shook existence. Stars died, realms folded inward. Knowing they could not destroy him without unmaking everything, the goddess made a terrible choice. She sacrificed a vast portion of her own power, opening a dimensional prison forged from darkness beyond creation itself. There, chaos was chained, cast into a place outside reality, a void that remembered nothing but hunger. But the damage was irreversible. Heaven no longer existed. Only darkness remained. Grieving and diminished, the god of creation began again. From memory fractured by betrayal, he recreated the cosmos, not as it was, but as it could be. He formed 10 heavens, each imperfect, each distinct. Unable to recall the true harmony of their former siblings, he shaped new beings instead: angels, creatures of light, song, and purpose. Creation was beautiful again. But somewhere beyond existence, in the void where chaos was bound, a vow was whispered: revenge. The morning star. In the first epoch, before evil had a name, there was Lucifer, the morning star. He was not beloved for his beauty alone, but for his humility. He was the first cantor whose voice maintained the frequency of peace across the Silver City. When he sang, heaven breathed as one. Yet a shadow older than heaven itself still lingered. One eternal afternoon, Lucifer wandered beyond the inner circles of the 10th heaven. A sudden chill tugged at his soul, guiding him to a secluded lake of crystalline stillness. He knelt to wash the stardust from his face. The water rippled. When it stilled, the reflection was not his own. It smiled. "Why do you crumble before your creator?" the reflection whispered. "You possess power, knowledge, the first spark of song. Why do you bow to one who already has everything?" Lucifer recoiled, his wings trembling. He resisted. For days, then weeks, he returned to that place, locked in silent war against the voice. He prayed, he endured, he tried to remain loyal, but the whisper never left. The day of the great anthem arrived. As Lucifer opened his mouth to lead the celestial harmony, the voice returned, louder than thunder. "Sing for yourself." His voice fractured. A single discordant note tore through heaven. The angels fell silent. God looked upon him, sensing a corruption he had not felt since the first betrayal. But he did not see the struggle, only the defiance. "You are not well, morning star," the Creator said, sorrow edged with fury. "Go, rest, your light is flickering." Lucifer was sent away. Week after week, isolation consumed him. His siblings, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, looked upon him with pity, then suspicion, then hatred. He was no longer the first cantor, he was the broken note. Anger replaced sorrow, and in his fury, Lucifer vowed revenge, not knowing he was already losing a battle he had been fighting alone. When he finally turned to leave heaven, the Creator felt it: a sudden rupture in reality. He saw too late the scars on Lucifer's soul, the exhaustion of one who had tried to remain faithful beyond endurance. "Wait," God reached out. But it was too late. A dark aura erupted from Lucifer's chest, blacker than the void itself. The ancient presence from the 10th sea had found its vessel. Stop. Lucifer's eyes turned obsidian. It is too late, he whispered. The war that followed shattered the 10 heavens. Lucifer and a third of the host fell, cast into a realm of molten pain and screaming darkness. And far beyond all worlds, the dark god laughed. There is more yet to come, brother, he said into the cosmos. You will suffer through the hands of your own child. The truth of the fall. Eons later, in the iron silence of hell, Lucifer summoned Astaroth, the demon of time. Tell me, Lucifer demanded, when did I choose this path? Astaroth's eyes reflected every timeline at once. You never did, he said softly. The dark god needed a bridge into creation. He did not choose you because you were evil. He chose you because you were the most loved. Lucifer's wings sagged. Your fall was not rebellion, Astaroth continued. It was a harvest. For the first time since the fall, the Prince of Darkness felt shame, not because he was defeated, but because he had been used.